What's up, YouTube? So in the mail we did receive a forward ghost 2x magnifier by MONSTRUM. Very cool. I should have got this thing right when it came out, because MONSTRUM's very cool for dropping new things and being like, here's 30-40% off. I didn't pick it up then, and I've just kind of been thinking about this thing, like, how is that going to work? How well is that going to work? I really wanted to know. So I went back in and I did pick this bad boy up for full price. I gotta say, it's worth it. I dig it. It's got very solid lockup, right? You hear that nice click. This thing feels heavy duty. It is sealed. And the reason, I'm sure some of you are already going to call out the fact that this isn't lined up right. Right? And that, I think, is one of the coolest things about this product, is even if you're mismatched a little bit, if you're not on exactly the same height, this is still going to work, because they made sure to put in a very large sweet spot. This is MONSTRUM's words, not mine. That's what they're calling it. They put a large sweet spot in the middle of this magnifier, so even if you're not on exactly the same plane, it's still going to match up. So you guys can totally see the elevation difference there, right? And to be fair, this does come with multiple adapters that you can put in here to lower it or raise it. I think it comes with 2 other adapters that are going to change the height on this. I think they just give you the one that's like right in the middle of both of them is what comes on it. So I should be able to lower this a little bit, and I think I should be able to raise it. But it works like this. Now that's very cool. I think that is just one of the coolest things about this, is you're going to be able to match this up with whatever optic you have. You don't have to worry about it aligning perfectly. That also means that you can, find a height that works for you, and you could slap this on multiple guns. You could quick release it, put it on something else if you want to add 2 times more magnification. It works very well with the prism optic that I have here, right? Even though it doesn't perfectly line up. Yeah, I'm going to be taking this thing off and putting it on like an actual scope, an actual MONSTRUM scope. I actually think this right here would line up perfectly with this optic, with this scope, just to see what that's going to do, just to see how it's going to affect the eye relief, if it's even going to be usable, and because it would look funny. So I'll make sure to get a video of that when I'm actually doing that. But for any actual real application, I think you're going to be using it with probably another prism optic like this. This is an awesome prism optic that MONSTRUM made. They don't have any more of these in stock, but it's a low magnification. It's only a 2 times magnification. This has an amazing eye relief on it. It's so easy to square up behind this optic. Everybody that I've had, shown this thing to, they agree. And for inside 100-yard shooting, I think this thing is just awesome. So that's why it's sitting on this gun. It replaced a much more expensive optic from Primary Arms that's just laying on the table over here now, just because this one's so much easier to perch up on. It's so easy to get that picture box in front of you, and your eye just goes to it. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but this one is just better, and that's why it's the one I'm actually using. But it's got a low magnification. They have another one that looks like this, but it's 3 times magnification. This one is less than that. And, you slap something like this on, and now you have 5 times magnification. So for going out to like 200 yards, yeah, I would want that extra 2 times magnification. That does make a difference, depending on your rifle and your setup, what you got going on. This is a Mark 18, so it's not the longest barrel. Still, I like to be able to even see further than I can shoot if I can help it. I actually do like a scope, because in a bad situation, it's literally a superpower to be able to see twice as far. It's also a superpower to be able to see in the dark, right? Another reason why I like the idea of this and how well it worked out is because you are adding weight to your rifle by putting any type of magnifier on. This is letting you put the magnifier on after your optic, after your scope. So this will work for one of the little LPVOs that's like a 2 through 4. This is going to give you a 2 through 6. I think it's going to line up with an LPVO like that great. And you're putting that weight further down the barrel of your firearm. So that's going to give you a better shooting rifle. It's hard to argue. You know, it's just the gun's going to weigh more, and more of that weight's going to be up by the front of the barrel, where you actually have to worry about barrel rise, muzzle rise. So if I'm going to have to add weight, I'm going to want to add it down here, closer to the muzzle. So I think that's an advantage of these. Now this thing does weigh 8 ounces. It's not the lightest thing in the world. In my opinion, though, it's worth it for me. It's probably going to stay on this rifle. Obviously, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to mess around with different scopes that I got and see how it affects the eye relief, right? So the eye relief on this optic alone, it's amazing. When I click this over and I look through it, I don't have to move my face. I mean, I have to lean in maybe about a millimeter. That's about it. So it has not affected, it hasn't had a huge effect with this optic, but this is only a 2x magnification, so there's not a ton of magnification going on here. So I don't know how it's going to act with the eye relief and everything if I bolt it up to an 18x magnification optic and then, you know, try to add 2 more times magnification to that, if that's going to absolutely destroy the eye relief. But I wouldn't think that most people are going to use this for an optic that already has 18x magnification, right? The LPVOs that people are going to be throwing these on, if they do throw them on an LPVO, which, by the way, it does say in their little manual that, you know, this works for LPVOs and it works for these prism optics, and it's going to work for red dots. You can put a red dot behind here, infinite eye relief, and you're still going to be able to magnify that. So I'll see if I have a red dot here kicking around, and I'm going to test all that out too. But I wanted to show this thing exactly as it is right now, because it already works so well with this prism that I think that's just great. And in my opinion, they're worth it. They're worth the $80 or exactly whatever this thing was. Mine's going to be staying on this rifle. Yeah, so check them out. They're called the Ghost 2x magnifier, post scope magnifier. They are from MONSTRUM Tactical. Very cool little thing that they're doing. I don't think there are that many other post scope clip-ons like this. Most of these magnifiers are pre-scope. They're sitting like you're looking through the magnifier before it gets to your optic, right? Another reason why I personally want to see how well this would work is because I'm actually looking at a clip-on thermal. So I wanted to see how this would work, give me just a better idea of whether this is even possible or doable or not. And as far as I can tell, it definitely is. So I'm definitely going to be looking into that thermal clip-on, and we'll see where I get there. Anyway, hope you have an awesome day. Later, YouTube.